morning, everybody. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Mazatlan, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we try to bring with you the joys of living in Mexico. Hello, everybody. James and Rena in San Antonio. Megan, Dr. John in the house. LJ in the house. Wayne, I don't know if you need to get a shot. A Skyrider. We haven't seen Skyrider in quite a while. I hope your wife, Maryland, is doing very good. Nonya. I don't know how to say that. You haven't been here in 2 months, but welcome back. That girl, my neighbor. That girl emailed me, let me know if you want to go to Walmart this week. We'll have some more Walmart fun. Catherine, good morning, Catherine. Stephen is in the house. Granny, dope smoking Granny is in the house. We got a lot of people in the house this morning. Dr. John is in the house. I think we have a lot to cover today. I hope I can be entertaining to you guys this morning. A lot's going on down here. It's the end of summer. September is here. And let me say that Megan from Southern Delaware, Christine Prowse, hey, now living in Cuenca, Skyrider, we're doing wonderful, thank you. Oh, Patty B, good morning. I'm glad to see we have 20 people in the house. We have 8 likes. I think we might have some fun this morning. John Colby is in the house. I'm in my tractor in Alabama. Just cruise on, dude. Pull over and watch the show. Okay, I'm hoping that the audio's coming through okay. I'm hoping that we got smooth video today. All my lights are green on both screens. I have a lot to talk about. It's September, and it's been Alan Berry. See you in a month. Just be down the street. Come on down, Alan. First, I want to give you guys some, some contact information. I moved all of my reference information to billthegeek.org, not .com, but it's billthegeek.org. At the top of the screen, you will see an FAQ button, and there you can find real estate people in Ajijic or Mazatlan. You can find my real estate my immigration attorney, Albiro. He's helped many of us get permanent or temporary visas. And there's other stuff in there. I want to thank Rob and Sherry of the Reina del Mar. Oh, John Colby, right on for the Taco Cash. Thank you very much for the Taco Cash. Let me click this button right away. I can use every bit of money. But thank you very much, John Colby, and you be safe. You be safe on the road. Be safe down there in Alabama. But yes, the end of September, it's been a hot summer. I'm not used to this heat because I was in Ajijic, Chapala for 4 years. But, you know, it's really not that bad. I'm on the computer most of the time, so I'm in here with the air conditioning. So I got my first electric bill. It was a 6-week electric bill, and I was a little worried. I thought it might be like 2,000 pesos, which would be like $100. But for 6 weeks, my electric bill was 670 pesos. That means it was like $32.50, and I was chilly up in here. So Mazatlan's pretty cool. You just turn on your air conditioner and you're good to go. I got a view of palm trees out there on my terrace. Let's take a look at the terrace just real quick. That's what I'm looking at on the other side of my computer right there. That's what I look at all day. It's a little messier than that. Also, I decided not to sell my car. I'm keeping my car. William Stoneman, good morning and welcome to the Bill Dallas Lewis Show. William, great to have you in the house. Donna, hi, Bill. I'm here in Chapala. Just got my temporal visa. Good for you, Donna. Doesn't it feel good? Hey, I tell you what, when you get your visa down here and you got the little card in your pocket, it does make you feel good. And, but anyway, Rob and Sherry at Reina Del Mar Bed and Breakfast, all of their contact information is at billthegeek.org. Click the FAQ button and you can hook up a Mazatlan tour. I think they're getting booked up like all through the winter time, but it's a great tour. I know a person named Nikki. I went on a tour with her some time ago, and she's been on the tour 3 times. She's coming back on the 18th of September with her husband, who has never done the tour, but she loves the tour. But sorry about that. Woo! Allie, I've got a link for Allie, the realtor over there at billthegeek.org, and that's for Mazatlan. Her husband, Frazier, is from Cleveland, and tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Ohio State plays Notre Dame, and I'm a big Ohio State Buckeye fan. So I'm going over to Allie and Frazier's place, and we're going to watch the game together. They said they're going to cook up some tacos, and we're going to kick back with some cold ones. Ohio State is ranked number 2, so I'm down in here in Mexico. You guys would be surprised. I can see almost every Ohio State game on the tube. Camping Allen. Many times Camping Allen shows up on Saturday morning. He is here in Mazatlan. He's taking tours today and tomorrow, and I hope to catch up with him this week. People contact me all the time. There's a guy down here. His name is Gary Katz. I think his last name is Katz. But he contacted me. We went for a big fish dinner this week, and that was super enjoyable. I have clips. I have video clips for you guys this week, but everything is very good down here, and I'm still having a good time. Patty B is still here. Oh, Patty B is still in the house. Okay, you guys. I've been traveling around quite a bit through Mexico, and people come down here to visit, and they really don't know what to do. You know, they're in a town or a city for their first time. They don't know where to go. But I'm going to say if you go anywhere in Mexico, all you have to do is ask anybody, where is the plaza? Where is the plaza? So I have clips of 11 plazas, and you guys have seen many of these clips, but I kind of cut them up, made them short so you guys don't get bored. But I have them ranked from number 1, and the top one is number 11. And I'm going to save the last one for last. But if you come to Mexico, all you have to do is ask people, where is the plaza? And if you can just make it to the plaza, there's always lots of restaurants. Sometimes there are meat shops, chicken shops, all kinds of stuff out there. So let's get started. And for you people in Canada, get ready for this because it's coming soon. Ha, ha, ha. Big Mike is in the house. Bill, have you ever found seedless watermelon in Mexico? I've never seen it, and I've never looked for it. Okay, you guys. Here is my first plaza, and this may look familiar to some of you guys, and I still don't know how to say the name of that place, but it's only like 10 minutes from Ajijic. And this is a very small town. I did a video on this about 2 months ago, but this is your typical big plaza. And if you go to any plaza on a Sunday night, it's going to be, there are the municipal buildings there. There's the church right across the street from the plaza. It's so standard. And I'm going to show you some more plazas. There's this church with a brand new bell. They may have already put it up, but that is so typical. I've been to so many pueblos and big cities, and they all have plazas. And if you ever go to any city, if you like people, go there on Sunday evening, and they have big parties every Sunday. Now, let's go to another plaza. This plaza is in Comala, which is right next to Colima. Colima is a state and a city. I found this plaza to be very enjoyable. In the last place, and maybe I'll learn how to say that one day, but in the last place, they didn't have all the vegetation. They didn't have all the trees. Very, it's kind of hard to see through the fountain, but, and there's a church. And this plaza is about 3 hours from the other city that is near Ajijic. But if you're there in the afternoon, all of those little places over there on the left-hand side, will have, and notice it says Pueblo Mágico, Pueblo Mágico, Comala, and that is so standard. Pueblo Mágico means magical city, and I have to look into how you actually get that title, because not all pueblos are magical cities, but magical cities means that your little city is very special. John Colby, have you heard anything about new rules for the immigration for tourists flying in? Yes. And we talked about this, a couple of months ago. They really were cracking down on people. Some people were getting 14-day visas. One gypsy traveler is in the house. She just contributed to the channel, and I'm not going to ignore her. So thank you very much, one gypsy traveler. She's a regular here. But back to John Colby. People were getting, instead of the standard 180-day visas, people were getting 14-day visas, 7-day visas, 21-day visas. It was getting very confusing. But from what I understand, now they're getting back to 180-day visas now. I think, now I'm a computer geek, and I know Photoshop really well, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, stuff like that. I'm thinking that if you want a for sure 180-day visa, you might consider talking to the place where you're going to stay. It could be a hotel, it could be a bed and breakfast, but contact them before you come down and say, hey, can you give me a receipt for 180 days that I'm going to be in your place? Or just a reservation sheet. It's just a reservation sheet. That way they're making no commitment that you'll be there for 180 days. And that way, when you get to immigration at the airport, have that little sheet from the place that you're going to stay, so that you can show immigration at the airport that you have reservations for 180 days. But it doesn't seem, I haven't heard of anybody getting a 14-day visa anymore. MJ from Seattle headed to Ahihi next month. Bill, can you tell me what are requirements that you need to go apply for senior discount? And do they have an office in Chapala or Ahihi? MJ, very good question. Yes. Yes. Let me write this down so I don't forget it. They have one of these offices in Chapala. Yeah, it's in Chapala, and the office is called DIF. DIF is a Mexican federally funded agency, and it's almost like a settlement house. They'll have doctors in there. They'll have like English classes in there, legal services. And when I went to get my senior citizens card, let me think about this. I think I needed my passport. I needed my CURP, CURP. And if you're new down here, Katrina Johnson, I heard that FMM is no longer required. Okay, that's a new one. But I needed my CURP. And if you have any form of visa, not the 180-day visa, but if you have a 1-year visa, a 2-year visa, a 3-year visa in Mazatlan, they'll give you 4-year visas, or a permanent visa. On that card, if you look very carefully, you will see the word CURP. And you can take your card to any, they call them papelerias, and that means paper shops, and they'll sell all kinds of like paper, pencil, office supplies. And you can just give them your card. They will see your CURP, and they know the government websites, and they can put in your CURP number and print that out for you. So the DIF offices are throughout Mexico. So if you go to Google and just type in Mexico DIF offices, you can get the full list of where their locations are. I forget what their address is in Chapala. And the way that worked was, it was not difficult at all. It's free. I think all I gave them, I think you might need proof of address. I had to give them my passport, maybe proof of address, which would be an electric bill, a phone bill, something like that. My CURP, and I left my documents, came back like a couple of days later, and they gave me a nice little paper card. I had to get the card laminated myself. But the senior citizen discount card is good to have, because if you're 60 or older, you can get stuff at half price. Many places, movie theaters, bus trips. It's really good for bus trips. And sometimes these bus trips, I had videos of the aquarium last week. I got 50% off that. And if you go to the Mexico DIF website, they have a name for the senior citizen program. You will see the name in Spanish for that. And they will list all of the stuff that you can get discounts on. You can get discount at pharmacies for drugs. Some restaurants will give you discounts. Some hotels will give you discounts. Movie theaters definitely give you discounts. Okay, so let's go. Now this is my third plaza, Mazamitla. I was there like 8 months ago. It was a wonderful trip. And you can see their plaza. There's the church in front of the plaza. This is an excellent drone shot. If you can ever make it to Mitla, it's a wonderful trip. The place is surrounded. It's like rental cabins. We rented a cabin for 3 days. It was like $35 a day. It's a great place, and it's right on the lake. And it's about an hour and a half from Chapala, Ahihic. And it's a very peaceful drive. You go through the country, you see farms, you go through many pueblos, and then you get to Matzmitla. You can go to the square, go to the plaza. They have lots of restaurants, but that is my third choice for plazas. And I'm going to move right ahead here. Malake, Mexico. Malake is right on the coast. I do believe Malake, I forget if it's north or south of Puerto Vallarta. And these signs are standard. Almost every pueblo or magical city has their name in beautiful colors. And I wasn't really impressed with this. There's a transportation mechanisms for getting around town with their little taxis. I wasn't really impressed with their plaza, but you can see the church over there. And the plazas are so standard. They're surrounded by shops, restaurants, markets, meat markets, bread markets, fish markets. So when you get to any town in Mexico, all you have to do is say, where is the plaza? Donde está la plaza? Donde está la plaza? Donde está la plaza? And in the plaza, you're going to find just about everything you need to get started. And if you start walking around the plaza, there's the church right on the plaza. Very busy on Saturday nights. They sell tacos in front of the church. They play games in front of there's a standard gazebo that you're going to find in almost every plaza. We have 44 people in the house, 22 likes. Thank you very much for clicking that like button. And that helps our channel when you click the like button, so feel free to do it. And for people that are want to express their appreciation for the channel, if you're watching the rebroadcast, there's a link in the description below that will take you into PayPal, Visa, or American Express. Okay, now here's a plaza that I've been to many times, and this is from a video. Oh, I think this was one of my first videos, and here is fresh bread. This is right on the plaza in downtown Chapala. They have like 5 restaurants out there. Again, you can see the gazebo, and look at the beautiful shrubs and trees. This place always has lots of people in this place all of the time. And then they have a big market. You can go in here and buy fresh eggs, fresh meat, fresh chickens from the farm. And this is in Chapala, a very nice market, a great place to visit. And it's only a block away from the park. And I'm going to thank Granny here. Granny, thanks for your donation. Thank you, Granny. Woohoo! Thank you very much, Granny. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. I tell you, I get really nervous I was really nervous last night. I was really nervous this morning at 5:30 in the morning. So I had the alarm set for 6:30, but I was up at 5:30. I was tossing and turning, and I said, I'm just gonna get up now. So I have my little routine that I do in the morning. I read some stuff and try to get motivated for the day, clean myself up, shave, so I look clean for you guys. But I get nervous about this, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do this week. But this week, I'm going to put up this Plaza video, I think, tomorrow. And my motive of operation is to show you guys these video clips before I put the videos up. Dr. John is saying, okay. Dr. John, almost every Mexican town, regardless of how remote, poor or small, is a nice central plaza and church. That is so true. And it's everywhere you go. So you can be anywhere in Mexico and have no clue where you are, and all you have to do is say, where is the plaza? And they're going to have a church there if you want to go in. And if you see any church in Mexico, it's worth going in and looking around, just see the artwork. It'll be very peaceful. But at every plaza, they'll have restaurants, they'll have markets. Many times they have fresh bread that you can buy. So you're never at a loss when you come to Mexico. You know, all you have to know is, ¿Dónde está la plaza? ¿Dónde está la plaza? Okay. Now, I appreciate these talks. You have helped me so much. Granny, thank you, baby. Thank you. One Gypsy Traveler. Ola Joe Griff, I'm back for a little. Great to have you in the house. LJ is telling everybody to click the like button. LJ leaves me a lot of messages and helps me out. He gives me a lot of good ideas for drone shots and videos to make. Next on the list of plazas is Jocotepec. Now, Jocotepec is about a 15 to 20 minute drive, and this is a drone shot from near there. But here we are headed to the big church plaza, and look at how beautiful this place is. I was in Jocotepec. This must have been about 4 months ago. The church was beautiful. It looks like they have like a double church. And beautiful women walking around. But it's like, look at that. But and there's here we are in the square, and they were celebrating some kind of special day. I don't know what it was. I was there on a Tuesday, but Jocotepec. They had all kinds of restaurants around the plaza, and they had all kinds of rides, like a merry-go-round and this ride. They had about 10 rides in the plaza for this special event, and it was during the week. I think I was there on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and at 1 o'clock that day, they were going to let all the kids ride the rides for free. They let school out. Kids went down to the plaza and just had a great time. Also, I ran into some Americans on the plaza. They had all lived in Jocotepec for about 20 years. And they were telling me that you could get rental apartments there for between $200 to $500. They said the really nice apartments were like $500. It's a little off the beaten path, but Jocotepec is only like a 20-minute drive from the Chapala Ahiheek area. Okay, one gypsy traveler, Jack Webb. No, I'm in Wisconsin. Oh, for a sick dad, I'm not sure how long I'll be here. Doc says 6 months. Well, good luck. One gypsy traveler, good luck. William Stoneman, since Mexico Independence Day is next week on Friday, what do you have planned in Mazatlan? Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, William Stoneman. That's next Friday. I have no clue. One gypsy traveler, did you see the horrible flooding in Hazard? I hadn't heard about that. I was in a plane crash, and we ended up at a Holiday Inn in Hazard, Kentucky. And yeah, we were in a plane crash. It was a little Cessna, like 180, something like that. And the state police, there were 4 of us in the plane. We should have been killed, but they took us to Hazard, Kentucky. And it was really funny because Hazard, Kentucky had phone books that were about this thick. They were like a 1/4 of an inch thick and about this tall. That was funny. Okay. Brenda Douglas, hi Bill, BJ here. Thanks for your fantastic video. I love the info on the plazas. I will get there soon to see for myself. Now, and let me say this, before you come to Mexico, before you make a visit to Mexico, you want to go to Google and search for Mexico holidays, because sometimes it's a good thing to be in a place for a Mexican holiday, and other times it can be not good, which means banks are closed, schools are closed, some businesses are closed, so that can put a damper on your visit or your vacation, and that has happened to me many times. So you just go to Google, type in Mexican vacations, and you can Mexican holidays, and that way you're prepared. Also, like last week, I showed you guys videos of the aquarium in downtown Mazatlan. I showed you the circular pyramids, right? Outside of Tequila, near Guadalajara, but many of those public federal parks and special event places are closed on Mondays. So you may show up for a vacation, or maybe you live in Ajijic or Chala or Guadalajara, and you just got here and you don't know that many of these places are closed specifically on Mondays. Just a word to the wise. Maytomi, good morning from Los Angeles. Maytomi in the house, always good to see you. Okay, I'm going to go to this next video. I think it's number 7 on my list. Jack Webb, One Gypsy Travelers. My niece is a kindergarten teacher here. That's in Lexington, Kentucky. 2 of her students drowned. It's been bad. We still have people unaccounted for. We lost some fellow employees. Oh, Jack Webb, that's just, that's terrible. I mean, and God bless the kids and all the people and the stress of all that water damaging your homes. And you wouldn't expect all of that in Lexington or Hazard. But anyway, we're going to continue here with our list of squares or plazas. And this is a place that's like 13 miles from Puerto Vallarta. And this place is called Sayulita. And this is their plaza. And I was there, I think I was there in October. There's the gazebo. They have a church on the plaza. And Sayulita was hopping. I was super surprised. It was very international. It wasn't just Canadians and Americans. The place was packed. And what really, and they had so many restaurants and bars. Like, look at this place here. They have place all like that all around the plaza. You go to the plaza, all you have to do is just walk around the plaza, all kinds of bars and restaurants. And at nighttime, Sayulita is jamming. And what also surprised me is the number of young single women look at that, in Sayulita. I mean, it was like amazing. Sayulita, I don't know if I could live in Sayulita because it is a real tourist town. There was no place to park. Look at all the golf carts. You can rent those. But Sayulita Square, I'm going to say this was one of the most jumping places in Mexico. It's a small, very small town. I'm going to say it's like 15 blocks by 15 blocks, but it was jumping. And at nighttime, it was really jumping. But everything you see right here is about 1 block from the square. That was a fun trip. I think I'm going to go back to Sayulita next year, and I think I'm going to stay for a week. Jeff Cohen. Hi, Bill. Jeff and Kathleen here from San Luis Potosi. How much do you dislike the heat and humidity in Mazatlan? And Jeff, I think you emailed me like about 3 or 4 months ago, and I lost your email. Could you please email me? Again, I'm going to answer your question, but please email me because I think I want to interview you guys, and I want to come to San Luis Potosi. I'm typing in my email address right here. At .com. So Jeff, could you guys please email again? I would love to do an interview with you guys about living in San Luis Potosi. The humidity here in Mazatlan, I mean, it's humid. It's really humid and it's hot. But they say by the beginning of October, it starts getting a high of 72 and about 60 at nighttime, and it's like that for 6 months. And it's the same way. In Puerto Vallarta, and I lived there for 10 years. So once the winter time comes for 6 months, you can't imagine using. But right now, man, if I didn't have air conditioning, I would be sweating. Thank God. So the humidity is really something. Really, the humidity is really something. So let's go next to my next plaza. This is number 7. I think it's number 8 on the list. And for you people that live there, you know, is Ajijic. Ajijic is a great place. And all you have to do is find their plaza, and you're going to see lots of restaurants. And you can just spiral around their plaza. And on their plaza, there are people, they have many restaurants, and you can be there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. and there will be that's the Plaza from a drone shot, but there will be all kinds of expats there all day, and they'll invite you. You can see the umbrellas at the top of the screen. Those are restaurants, but people will invite you to eat with them. You can instantly make new friends. And then in Ajijic, you can just walk around the plaza, walk a couple of blocks this way, walk a couple of blocks that way, and there's lots of restaurants, lots of music, lot of good music in Ajijic. Chapala is not like that. Okay, Granny, Bill, does it get cold in Chapala? I know it's not humid. Okay, Granny. One thing that turned me off about Ajijic, Chapala, Guadalajara was wintertime. And it goes down to like 45 degrees at night. All the houses are brick cement. So, if it goes down to like 47 at midnight and it stays like that till like 6 o'clock in the morning, then your house is going to be chilly. And I think I've said this many times. Your house is going to be chilly the rest of the day. So you get up in the morning, you want to take a shower, and it's going to be 47 degrees. So you got to get naked, and it's 45, 47 degrees. I didn't like that. And that's why, I've got T-shirts on. Ever since I got the Mazatlan, I'm wearing shorts and T-shirts. I have 15 hoodies in my closet, and I don't have to wear them anymore. I like that. I put on a hoodie yesterday, and I couldn't handle it. So hopefully I can wear my hoodies again in the wintertime at night when it gets cooler. But Granny, I did not like the humidity or the cold winters in Guadalajara, Ajijic, or Chapala. Keith Hanna, hola Keith Hanna, great to have you in the house. Okay, now this next place they have a plaza, but it's almost like the entire location is a plaza. And I haven't been everywhere in Mexico. There's so many places I want to go in Mexico. I'm 66 years old. I hope I've got another 10, 15 years in me so I can get around and see a lot more of Mexico. But this next place is one of my favorite places in Mexico, and that would be Tlaquepaque. Tlaquepaque is like and look at their streets. The streets are filled with bars and restaurants, all types of ceramic, bronze artwork, historical, and you can go to Tlaquepaque is right next to Guadalajara. Some people say that Tlaquepaque, some people say that Tlaquepaque is in Guadalajara, but it's not. And they have this giant music place where you can go there if you like mariachi music. But you can see these shows every night with lots of musicians, and they get up here on these gazebos, and they change the entertainment all throughout the day. And you can see all those chairs there, but they all surround the gazebo, and those are I think it's like 20 different restaurants, and the place will be packed at nighttime. Beware if they come up and ask you if you want their special drink, which is like 300 pesos, which is $15, which is way too much for what that drink is. But this is Tlaquepaque, Pocky. It's a fabulous place. You can surely spend a day there. And this is one of my favorite artists in Mexico's Bustamante. I forget the guy's first name right now, but Tlaquepaque is one of my favorite places. And Katrina, thank you for contributing to the channel. Thank you guys for clicking the like button. Thank you guys for showing up. I've got 3 more plazas to share with you this morning. Granny Katrina, where are you? I'm in Arizona, planning to move to Chapala by October. Granny, come on down. Come on down. Let's see. Bill, something I've not considered nor asked, but are there Americans, Canadians who flock to the hustle and bustle of Guadalajara? I tell you, Jack, I lived in Guadalajara for 3 years. Let me review this very carefully before I say something stupid. But I lived in Guadalajara for 3 years, and I only remember seeing maybe 3 years. And I kind of like that because I live in Mexico. So I was just with Mexican people all the time. I was with either by myself or with Mexicans. And as a rule of thumb, and this may sound really messed up, but as a rule of thumb, I kind of stay away from retirees because, and my cousin Tulsi, who lives, she stays very busy. She's an artist. She's coming out with new art all the time. Crapo, Dr. John, thank you for contributing to the channel. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for contributing to the channel. Thanks for clicking the like button. But anyway, my cousin Tulsi and Ahik, she comes out with a new piece of art like every other day. And she does watercolors. She does oils. She's a photographer. She's like a professional photographer. She's lived all over the world. She plays guitar. She writes music. And there's a group of women in Ahik. They always invite her to their gatherings. She says she kind of stays away from them because they talk about their families and the kids. That's what they do all the time. What is this? Okay. So as a rule of thumb, Guadalajara was good because I didn't see any Canadians or Americans ever. You go to the grocery store, it's all Mexican nationals. Go everywhere, it's Mexican nationals everywhere. And I tell you something else. Okay. Katrina, I am in Texas planning to visit Mexico soon. I've heard that's a wonderful place. So Jack Webb, they have a group in Guadalajara. It's called the International Group. You can just look up Guadalajara International Club, something like that. And they have people from all over the world that get together regularly. I never went to any of their events. But anyway, Jack Webb, I hope that answers your question. Okay. John Colby, Puebla, has a wonderful Zocalo and one of the finest cathedrals in Mexico. Thank you, John Colby. I'll have to check that out. Now that you are settled in Mazatlan, do you have any regrets about leaving the Chapala, Ahihik area? Matomi, no, I have no regrets. I mean, it's really nice here. I'm still finding my way around, but I live like a half mile from like anything that I really need. For the major stuff, like there's that American stuff, Walmart, Sam's Club, Office Club. My dry cleaners is a block away. There's an OXXO. There are two OXXOs, and OXXO's like 7-Eleven. There are two of them. Each one is 2 blocks away. I found a great tamale place by accident in front of OXXO. I went there on a Sunday night, and I got some tamales. And tamales, I still have one in the freezer, but tamales, it's like a dough, and in the middle of the dough, usually there is pork, beef, or chicken. Sometimes they have sweet tamales. And the special tamales, they have a plant. It's some type of palm tree plant, and they wrap it around the tamales, and it gives them a really good flavor. And these things were about this big and about that thick, and it was like 20 pesos, like $1. I got 3 of them, so that's like $3. That was a real treat. That's like 2 blocks away, but I don't have any regrets about moving here from Ajijic, Chapala, though I had a great time in both of those places. Stephen, I know this may be off topic, but what is the bed bug situation in Mexico? Or is it generally the same as the rest of North America? I've been in Mexico for 17 years. I've never heard of anybody with bed bugs. Nobody. Okay, Granny. Speaking of insects, how is the mosquito situation in Chapala? I am guessing since it is a lake, it would be an issue. Okay, Granny. When I lived in Chapala and Guadalajara, mosquitoes were a big issue. But I was in Guadalajara for 3 years, and the house that I was in, it was like a 40-year-old house, and all the screens were 40 years old, and all the screens had holes in them, and that's another reason that I would wear hoodies. In Chapala, we lived right next to the lake, and I would go out on the back porch in the morning, and I could hear, and it was like thousands of mosquitoes. Now, you guys know CMT 63, that's Chris and Mark Tucker. I stayed in their place for 2 months. There are 4 blocks from the Plaza in Ajijic. I never saw one mosquito. I stayed with my cousin Tulsi in Ajijic 2 weeks. I didn't see one mosquito in her place in Ajijic. So I think it depends upon the vegetation. And for CMT 63, they lived a block from the lake, a block from the Malecon. I didn't see any mosquitoes. So whatever. One gypsy traveler. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much. And I hope your dad turns out to be okay. Adele, I got dengue from the mosquitoes in GDL. I hate it there. Adele, I was with a woman the whole time I was in Guadalajara, Ajijic. I had a female companion. She had a huge family. And right before COVID, she had a huge family. Every Sunday, her and her family would get together at her mother's house in Guadalajara. And there were always at least 30 people there. Sometimes there'd be like 100 people there eating and dancing and everything. And I'm going to say about half her family got dengue. Well, where's so-and-so? They have dengue. Where's so-and-so? They got dengue. It was like right before COVID. And this was like for 6 months or a year. And you have to be careful because you can get dengue down here and it's no fun. Dengue sucks. Woo, tamales. Tamales are great. Okay, we have another place. How can you not love Puerto Vallarta? I lived there for 10 years. There's a ton of stuff to do there. They have great beaches, a great Malecon. Here we are on the square, me narrating. I guess this is one of the first videos I did. There's the church on the square. I don't think I ever went into the church. There are the magical arches on the square. But here's what really cracks me up about the square in Puerto Vallarta. There's a Domino's right on the square. And there's a Starbucks right on the square. And this is a great place. I met so many people at Starbucks. And from this Starbucks, you can see the ocean. You can sit there all day, meet people. And here's a Burger King right on the square. So the square is a good place to go, I tell you. Dr. John, dengue is a real concern around GDL, that's Guadalajara, but it is just requires simple measures to mitigate the risk. And Dr. John, can you tell us what the simple measures are, please? And I've never had dengue. I met a guy in Puerto Vallarta. He was an American guy. He had dengue and he was sick for a month. Adele, I got it at the airport. It's infested. The planes are too. Cream cheese. Cream cheese Chapala newcomers often confuse Bobos for mosquitoes, but there are mosquitoes. Seems to be dependent on specific location, amount of breeze, and nearby stagnant water make a difference. I just have a cup. Thank you very much. Cream cheese. Yeah, what is a Bobo? What is a Bobo? Okay. While we're getting that answer, let me go to, we only have 2 more Plaza clips. I must say that one of the best plazas I've been to in my stay in Mexico is the Guadalajara Plaza. And they have, in downtown Guadalajara, they have plazas that run into plazas all downtown. They have so many historical statues. Here is the rotunda of famous historical people that are actually buried under that round thing with the pillars in the background. That is called the rotunda. But you can actually go to the plaza. There's the cathedral. You can stay in the cathedral for a half an hour. They have dead people. They have tunnels that go all secret tunnels. Some people say that nuns that have babies buried their children there. But this is one of my favorite plazas that I haven't been everywhere in Mexico. That this is one of my favorite plazas that I've seen in downtown Guadalajara. All kinds of restaurants, bars. You can spend and they have art museums, churches. You can spend hours and hours at the Guadalajara Plaza. Cream cheese. Bobos are gnat-like insects that swarm and look a lot like mosquitoes from a distance, but they don't bite. Well, thank you for that tip. DEET is a health hazard. Okay, I'm going to my last video clip. Thank you very much, cream cheese. Sorry to call you that, but it's easier. Cream cheese. Yeah, thank you for that tip. I'm going to go to my last video clip of this morning. And this next video clip was so much fun. The event was so much fun. But again, most of the plazas you have seen from my clips this morning were shot in the morning time, just to be fair. But this is one of my favorite plazas, and this is in Mazatlan. And it's on a Sunday night, and this is on a tour with Rob and Sherry's Bed and Breakfast. And all of their contact information is billthegeek.org. This is the weekend of Day of the Dead. But any Sunday you go there, this plaza is surrounded by restaurants. It's on Sunday night. It's always full. Most evenings, the restaurants are full. And notice, I'm just going to say that these are all Mexican families. Mexican groups, Mexican families, eating in fine restaurants. Everyone is very polite, very welcoming. And look at how wonderfully lit the place is. I love Mazatlan, and I loved this plaza. This is in Old Town in Mazatlan. That was a great time. And again, like Rob and Sherry, they have a tour coming up the 18th of September. And I'm not trying to sell their tours, but I go over there and talk to the people. Many people go on their tours, not just one time, but 2 times. I know people that have taken their tour like 3 times because it is very enjoyable. And the people, I've taken the tour 2 times, and both times the people, there'll be like 12 or 13 people on a tour. All of the people were very kind, intelligent, and they also seem to be wealthy. Okay, that's funny. Okay. Matomi, think a bobo is what we call a gnat in the U.S. Thank you. Lunar eclipse. Where are you originally from, Bill? I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. I got out of high school when I was 18, and I moved to New Hampshire, where I went to college for 4 years. I've lived in San Francisco and other locations in the United States. Okay, Crapo Productions, that's Dr. John. To protect against vector-borne illnesses such as West Nile virus and Lyme disease, he's so funny. The Centers for the Disease Control and Prevention recommends the use of DEET, containing products at least 20%. And this is Dr. John, like he's a real doctor, and he gives us good medical advice. Thank you, Dr. John. Adele, Bill, what program are you using for this live? Great presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Adele. Adele, there's a lot going on. Lunar eclipse. Oh my God, I was just thinking your dialect sounds like it's from Ohio. But then I picked up a northern mid-Atlantic also. Yeah, I've lived in New Jersey, New York City. But Adele, this presentation is a real combination of software. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on the equipment I use to do this. I shoot my video either with my iPhone 8. I've got a Canon M50 shooting this video. I take those videos, I throw them into Adobe Premiere, throw in some drone video in there. I edit sometimes in Adobe Premiere, but most of the video clips that you guys are seeing, I've edited in Camtasia Studio. Camtasia Studio is a lot easier to use than Premiere, but I like Premiere better. Okay, so once the videos are complete, then I use OBS to stream. And OBS is free. So when I look over here at the computer, I can see me talking. I can see my sound levels. And in OBS, when I click this little button, like for thanks for the money, that's just a little animation that I made in Adobe Premiere. I load that into OBS. All of the video clips are loaded. All of the plazas you've seen today have been loaded into OBS. Okay, so I have OBS open. It's a free streaming program, and I can click the Start Stream button, and then I open YouTube, called YouTube Studio. If you have an account with YouTube, all you do, schedule your stream, put in the date and time, and then you open that file, and then you click Go Live. So right now I can see myself talking in OBS and in YouTube Studio. So to get this whole thing done, it's a real combination of cameras, software, and of course, we've been real lucky with the internet today, and nobody has said anything about video glitches, and that's a good thing. Woo, you guys. Well, I want to thank everybody very much for your input. We had some new people show up today. Thanks for coming. If you're new to the channel, I'm Bill the Geek, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and I try to bring you fresh content every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. I have an FAQ page at billthegeek.org, not .com, billthegeek.org. You go there in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see an FAQ button. You can click that, and you might find some help. You can find Rob and Sherry's tour. You can find realtors in Ajijic or Mazatlan. You can find my immigration attorney, and I forget who else you can find in there. Katrina Johnson. Well, thank you, Katrina Johnson. Thank all of you for showing up. I'm Bill the Geek, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. Love to see you guys every Saturday, and I hope I can come up with more content for next week. Now, Lunar Eclipse is saying, my fam is considering a move to PV, but as a Mexican-American myself with family in Michoacan, we hear about cartel violence in smaller towns there. What has been your experience, if any, with cartel violence? Okay. Okay, Lunar Eclipse. I've been here 17 years. I have never had any experience with cartel violence. If you don't do drugs, if you don't hang out with druggy people, if you don't go out trying to find drugs, I don't think you'll have a problem. I mean, drugs are really cheap here, but, and when I was in college, I was a pothead. I mean, I went to and graduated from Dartmouth College, okay? So, but I was high every day for every class, writing every paper. But here in Mexico, I don't do any marijuana. I don't do any drugs. It's just like not worth it. So I think if you just stay away from the drugs and stay away from questionable people, you'll be just fine. Adele, wow, talent. I will check that video about your video equipment. Yeah, it's like 2 videos ago. CMT63 is in the house. Bill, we started our private Spanish lessons this morning. Ho, ho, ho. Good for you, CMT63. Mark bought a golf cart this week. Well, good for him. Okay, everybody click thumbs up on the video. Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. Thank everybody for showing up, for your likes, for your contributions. Love you all, and I hope I see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Hi, Claudia. We're signing off now. Adios, amiga.